Hey everybody, it's Cindy here, your leader of Confident Women You Can Have It All. And we've been addressing various aspects of the upcoming holiday season this week. And today I want to talk to you about dealing with grief in the holiday season. Because several of you have let me know that you're grieving heavily, you're not sure what to do, how to handle the holidays, and there's just a very difficult thing. And so I was a grief counselor for, oh my gosh, for 9 years in Iowa many years ago. And so for 9 solid years, all I did was grief work with people of all ages, with all kinds of deaths, like hospice types of deaths, but also car accidents, suicide, young people to the oldest of people, the whole gamut, every kind that you can imagine. And so all the training I did during that time, everything was grief focused. So this is a topic that is near and dear to me professionally and personally. I've had some shocking deaths in my family in the last few years. I've had some, long drawn out, kinds of situations too. And I've grieved myself. I am grieving actually myself. My grief is not as fresh and raw as it was a year ago, but I do empathize on some level for sure. For those of you who have some really fresh grief going on, I haven't. It's been a little while now. I've finally had some time in between some deaths now, but knock on wood, you never know, right? But anyway, so let's talk about the holidays. And before I go any further, by the way, I am a personal and professional success coach. So yes, I'm the leader of this group, and I provide gobs of free content here constantly. But how I make my living is coaching people privately and in groups. And so if you have any interest in that, I have a 90-day coaching program. I have a year-long coaching mastermind experience, and I have VIP days that I sell as well. And so if you're interested in those, let me know. Send me a message, comment somewhere on any post, and let me know. And we will get on the phone and we'll talk about what's going on with you, what your needs are, and whether the kinds of services I provide are a good match or not. And I don't take everybody who wants to work with me, but I have some room in my calendar for some new clients too. So let me know. I have a scheduling link, and you can find a spot in your calendar and mine, and we'll get started. So whether it's grief or any topic that's of importance to you. So I've been doing this stuff for over 30 years. I know something. I feel like I have such a strong toolbox. And I just want to hand you guys everything that's helped me to completely transform my life. So I'm a happy girl, and I know how to get people to their definition of happiness. So anyway, okay, so let's talk about grief in the holidays. First of all, remember, grief is a response to loss. So most of the time when we say grief, people think of death-related grief. And that's primarily how I'm going to sound in this video blog right now. But remember, it's also if you've moved this year and you're grieving, or if it's your first year that you can't get all your kids together in the same room for the holidays, or or maybe they're not coming home at all this year for the first time or the 10th time and it still hurts, whatever. Or maybe you've had a breakup of a marriage or a long-term partnership, and you're grieving that, the end of a marriage. And so Christmas or Thanksgiving or Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, winter solstice, whatever holidays are important to you in these next few months, New Year's, maybe, they won't feel the same to you, and you're trying to regroup and figure out what to do. So I'm hoping all of this feedback will help no matter what kind of loss you are grieving. But it will probably sound like I'm mostly focusing on if you have had someone die. So please translate the information in whatever way is useful to you if you're grieving in any kind of way. Okay, first of all, Acknowledge that you're grieving. It's okay to say, I'm sad this year. I'm struggling. I'm not sure how to handle the holidays this year. I'm more depressed this year. It's just harder for me to find the energy and the gumption to get excited for these holidays. And so tell your close people or people you usually spend the holidays with, I'm trying to get excited about this, but I may not do the same things this year. Just please be patient with me. The year I got divorced, I did not send out cards, and I did the annual letter thing, and I didn't do it. I just didn't even know what to say. I just didn't have the words for this breakup of my family that I had instigated, and I didn't have the energy to do it, and I just let it go, and it was okay. It was fine. Who cares, right? It was okay. It's what I needed to do. So that's what I recommend for you, no matter how you're grieving, is acknowledge the loss and simplify the season in whatever way you can for yourself if you need to, because you probably have less energy. Your immune system is probably a little bit more compromised. And so you want to protect your health by increasing the self-care. Increase the self-care. Increase the self-care. Okay? So more than ever, eat the best foods for your particular body. Stay hydrated. Move your body. Exercise. It doesn't have to be fancy if you're not into that, but do something. Walk around. Use the stairs instead of the elevator. Park further from the store door. Whatever. But keep your body moving. Don't just slouch on the couch for 2 months, kind of thing. Because your body is meant to be upright and moving, and that it will boost your immune system. It'll boost your emotions. Everything. If you move more. So do these basics and get your rest. Nap when you can, and try to get a good night's sleep regularly, and play. Do things you enjoy, whether they have anything to do with the holidays or not, but just make sure you're attempting to do things that bring you joy, to bring some balance to the stress, overwhelm, and depression you might be feeling along with your grief. Okay, so increase the self-care. Vent to people that you trust more if that helps you. Journal more if that helps you. Meditate, pray, whatever your self-care regimens are that help you the most. Crank them up a couple notches during this holiday season, please. Okay? All right. So if you're missing someone who has deceased, has died, don't be afraid to say their name out loud. Okay? Don't be afraid to say their name out loud, or share stories, or say, I miss him. I miss John. I miss Judy. I miss whoever you miss, and say their name. It's okay. Everyone is thinking it that knew this person. Everybody is thinking it. So you aren't going to upset someone by bringing up a deceased loved one's name, because everybody's thinking it anyway. Everybody's missing them anyway, just like you are. And maybe not in the same way you are, but they are, and they're aware. They know. So go ahead and say it out loud. It gives others permission to talk about the person. You may want to commemorate them in some way. I know families who leave their chair at the table, set a place for them, and no one sits there. They're just acknowledging their presence in their lives, even though they are deceased. I know people who buy a special commemorative ornament. For example, if your loved one is was really passionate about soccer, you might get a soccer ball ornament and hang it on your tree. Now, I'm a Christian, so I'm talking about Christmas stuff. Sorry, it's just what comes natural to me. But whatever your holidays are, whatever your holiday traditions are, just translate the information for how it serves you best, okay? These are just ideas. You may serve or order one of their favorite foods, to acknowledge their presence in your life, to remember them. You may go ahead and hang their stocking. You don't have to act like they never were a part of your life just because they're deceased now. So if you want their presence in different ways, there's lots of ways to do that. People say, should I decorate the grave if there's a grave, or should I not? Does it matter? It's like whatever means something to you. If you feel good doing that, if that means something to you to go put a wreath on your loved one's grave, go do it by all means. If that doesn't mean anything to you or give you any sense of peace at all, don't worry about it. They won't care. I'm sure of it. They understand more than ever than our earthly understanding. I'm sure, I'm sure they do. That's my belief system. That's just my belief system. Another thing some families do at Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever, when there's like if there's family dinners and gatherings, they may go around the room, around the table or the room, and everybody share a favorite memory from the loved person or a favorite gift they received from the loved person. Now, this could be either a tangible gift, like, oh, my favorite were the earrings he got me, 3 years ago, or the gift of friendship that he offered me. How he always listened when I had a problem or something like that, and go around and do some sharing, invite some sharing. And it is a relief for most people. And there may be laughter and tears. It's all okay. It's okay. It's a way to acknowledge your grief and put it out there and let it be okay that you're grieving, instead of sitting there and try to stuff it all down and act like you're not grieving and everybody else holding everything back. It's just not necessary to do that, okay? Now, another thing, people say, well, what about all our traditions we had with this person, and what do we do about that, and do we have to, do we do them? If it feels good to you, again, use your emotional guidance system, your internal, your gut. If it feels good to you to keep traditions alive that you've always done, even though this person or people are deceased from your family or whatever, then keep them up. It's okay. Tradition and routine can be very comforting, very comforting. However, if you also just think you got to chuck it all and go, I gotta change it up this year because I can't do what we've always done. I just can't do it without them this year. That's okay too. Mix it up. I have a woman friend in my life whose husband died suddenly. This was many years ago, in September of a year, and it was just a shock. It was just awful. He was young. It was a shock. It was an accident, blah, 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 blah. And that Christmas, she took her family and they went on a cruise. Instead of the kind of what they normally did, stayed at home and did some of the traditional things that a lot of Christian families do for Christmas, they took a cruise that year. They changed it up. And my understanding is that felt really, really good. Like that felt like a really nice way to handle that first holiday season without him. I just don't want you to judge yourselves and each other. Do not judge yourself or anybody else when they're grieving, especially at the holiday season. It's just so difficult. It's just so difficult. I know it is. And I have some friends grieving right now close to me, and my heart just is shattered for them. I know, but I don't know how difficult it can be. So above all, respect yourselves, respect each other. If you can't go to every holiday party you're invited to, and every church service and every gathering, and bring the homemade this and wrap all the gifts all pretty like that, and if you cannot do it, if you just cannot do it, it's okay. Do what you can, what you want, what you can stand to do, what feels important to do. If you have small children in your life that are counting on you to pull off some holiday traditions, again, pour on the self-care, pour it on thick, and I say call in the troops. That's what I do. When I'm going through a crisis and I need help, I say I call in my troops, and that's when I call up my closest girlfriends, or I call up, the family or whoever in my community, in my circles, and I say, look, I need this, I need that, please help me, this, that. That's okay. Ask for help where you need it, because some of you have little people who are counting on you, and that ups the ante, I realize. I realize you've got to be more present than maybe you even feel like being when you're in that situation. So call on any help you need. It's okay. Those of you who truly love you and are healthy at all want to be there and would love direction on how they can help you. One of the things that it's important for those of you who are grieving to know is that those who truly love and care for you want to know how to support you in your grief, and they don't know. They often don't know. And so if you can say, hey, Cindy, could you pretty please bring a casserole over to my house because I've got company coming in for the next 5 days. I don't have the energy, time, or anything to make all the food. If you could just do that, I would feel like 1,400 bricks have been lifted off my shoulder. I would be like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Yes, thank you for letting me do that. Or I had a woman once who, well, a close friend of mine when I got divorced and I bought this little house and I took possession of it the same weekend of my daughter's club volleyball championship weekend. Long story, but anyway, this friend of mine said to me, she said, oh, would you do me a favor, Cindy? Would you please give me your house keys so I can go in and just clean your house for you so it's ready when you come back so you can move in? She said, you know how much I love to clean. Could I please do that? Would you let me? She was acting like I was doing her a favor. And what she was doing was coming in at a time of crisis in my life and taking care of a need that I had no time or energy to do. And she did it with pleasure, without question, and acted like I did her a favor. And so if you are grieving or going through a hard time and you have loving, supportive people in your life, let them step up. They want to. We want to when we truly care. So give them ideas of how they can serve you. And if you're the friend or the family member that's not grieving and you've got somebody in your life, ask them flat out, is there anything I can do to make this holiday season run more smoothly for you? Here are some of my ideas. This is what I'm good at. This is what I'm best at. This is the time I have here. And offer. Okay? We must support each other. And it can be a peaceful holiday season, reasonably peaceful. There can be joy. People say to me, is it okay if we laugh and enjoy the holidays even though we're grieving? Oh my gosh, of course. Of course, your loved ones don't want you miserable. If they could take your sadness away from missing them, they would. They would. But you loved them so much. That's all that means when you're grieving hard and you're sad. It just means you loved them so much. It's just a real tribute to the love and relationship you shared. And they want you to be comforted. They want you to feel blessed. And they want you to enjoy life. They do. They're free of all the earthly blah, blah, blah that gets in people's ways. If they were sarcastic or mean before, I'm sure they're clear of it now. I just really, really believe that. And there's a lot of evidence to that. So anyway, I'm going on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Sorry. To wrap it up, I would say, bless you all who are grieving. If I can support you in a more tangible, specific way as a personal and professional success coach, let me know below. Comment below and say, Cindy, can I have a call? Cindy, I need to talk to you. Something. Let me know, and we'll work that out. And know that I'm holding you up in my way as well, and that we'll help you get through it. You're going to get through it. It'll be okay. So anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.